Is that how it is? Is that how it's going to be? Anyway, what's popping? Why don't we start first with a question? If there's been one question that has hung over the NFL season since week number 1, it is this. Who and what are the Buffalo Bills? Mafia, I would ask you to help me because I'm not sure I've got any idea either. Who and what are the Buffalo Bills? I mean, like y'all were charging up the hill looking for Sean McDermott's head on a stick like 10 seconds ago. Funny how a couple of wins over the Chiefs and the Cowboys can change that entire vibe and turn it from doom and gloom back to pure confusion. Doom and gloom back to pure confusion. Seriously, who and what the hell are these guys? Are they once again a Super Bowl contender, or are they going to miss the playoffs altogether and fire their head coach? Have we not seen their best yet this season, or did we just see it yesterday, and is there more still there? And they are incredibly somehow peaking at the right time, right? I think, aren't they? You don't know if these guys, seriously, Mafia, who the hell and what the hell are these guys? Are they one of the ones to beat, or are they one of the ones who are going to be inevitably left on the outside looking in? And how incredible is it to see them put that beating on the Cowboys? Fraudulent as the Cowboys ever were, on a day when Josh Allen completed only 7 passes. As always, make that make sense because I can't. Well, actually, I can. It's your ass-run defense, Cowboy fans. But most of all, Mafia, I do want to hear from you. Is your team back on track? Are you once again a threat to win it all? Or do you still not trust them? I get that everything changes week to week in this league and that anything can happen, but no one has been a bigger example of that than the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they're wild. Again, are they one of the ones to beat, or are they on the outside looking in? As for Dallas, no confusion there. Same as they ever were. They hammer Philly, who clearly is not what they were. We'll get a better idea tonight. But they're not what they were. And then all of a sudden, Dallas starts acting like they're the ones. You know, all this nonsense about this is their year. You know, the same sort of bullcrap we hear out of Dallas every single year, only to see that when it matters most, they show up and they take an enormous dump in their pants.
You have a big dump in your pants.
You ask me. That beatdown they laid on Philly never even happened. Never even happened. Or at least I've already forgotten that it happened after seeing them get smoked yesterday and absolutely manhandled physically. Buffalo was channeling its inner Bob in L.A. and looking to run their ass down.
Run his ass down.
And that's exactly what they did. They ran their ass down.
Run his ass down.
They ran their ass down, and that once respected and vaunted Cowboys defense just got run the hell over. And I mean literally run the hell over. James Cook went off for 179. Buffalo ran for a total of 266. And again, no need to worry about Josh Allen trying to do too much. Dude really didn't have to do a damn thing except turn and hand it to Cook. I can't stress this enough. The guy completed 7 passes, and they dominated. He completed only 7 passes and was like apologetic and sounded like he felt guilty about the entire thing after the game. You know how it is in school, right? How it is in school with class projects and individually you get grades. And then you know how it is in the jungle, right? I always say, give me an A or give me an F. Don't waste my time with a C. Well, if the Bills group project got an A, the Cowboys group project got an F-. So now the Cowboys have to go to summer school based on that group project yesterday, take typing or something lame like that. Hey, Cowboys, you're going to have to make up your minds. Which is it? Do you suck against good teams, or do you suck on the road? Or is it both? Because yesterday it was both, considering Dallas was never even in that game. And if they want, they can go all Milli Vanilli with it and blame it on the rain. They could. but that would be even lamer than the actual no-show itself. Actually, you want to blame someone or something? Start with the Bills. They punched you in the face. You want to blame someone or something else? Look in the damn mirror. Straight bullied on the road again. But as always, do not take my word for it, because I know a lot of you don't trust me or believe me, so I'll find you an even better source. Don't take my word for it. Take it from one of the victims of that mug job. Respectfully, big dude. The Cowboys being a crappy, big game team that does not travel well is not mind-boggling to me at all. That's just who y'all are. That's who you are. That's who you've been. That's what you do. This is nothing new. In fact, this is the way it's been for years with this crew. I will tell you what is mind-boggling. What's mind-boggling is how people keep taking the bait and buying the hype with this team, even though we've watched the same exact Cowboys movie play out over and over and over again. It's like streaming the same exact movie and watching it 100 times and then expecting it to end differently the 101st time you give it a spin. This is not mind-boggling at all. The only thing that's mind-boggling is that somebody thinks it's mind-boggling. And then so much for Dak Prescott and that MVP candidacy, by the way. I'm not saying that he can't win. I'm saying it took a big hit yesterday. I'm not saying that I've got a clear-cut leader who's going to win this thing and run away with it. I'm saying that Dak went whack and took a step backwards. As for who it will be, again, this league, man, this league, it does change week to week. So who is the one to beat right now as it relates to the MVP award? Vegas generally knows. Vegas is pointing to Brock Purdy, which makes sense, right? He is the quarterback of the best team in the NFL. But if you ask Brock, Brock thinks that he's not even the most valuable player on his own team. I mean, typical Brock. Don't talk about me. Don't look at me. Brock, though, says, it isn't me. It's actually Christian McCaffrey. Dude. I love the way he starts that. Dude.
Dude,
you're not giving yourself enough credit. I'm not saying that you have to win the award. I'm saying, dude, take some credit. Dude, you deserve more credit. Dude, you can play. Dude, there really is no wrong answer here. Dude, there's no wrong answer here, at least between those two dudes, dude. Dude is leading the league in passer rating and touchdowns and yards per attempt. But other dude is leading the NFL in rushing by over 300 yards. So the answer right now is between dude and dude. Regardless of who the MVP is, regardless of who the Niners MVP is, it's pretty clear it is the Niners and everybody else in the NFC. Yes, there are other dangerous teams in the NFC, but there's nobody in the Niners class. Not now. Now, flipping over to the AFC, I would say the same thing about the Ravens. If in case you're joining us late, this is what's known as the NFL whip around. I hammer as much as I possibly can in the open. Bam, bam, bam. Let's go. Thank you, Avi. Let's go to the AFC. I would say the same thing about the Ravens as it relates to them. It's them and then everybody else. And if it weren't for that horrific Keaton Mitchell injury, and no, I am no doctor, but I don't think I need to be to know that your two knees are not supposed to be pointed in opposite directions. I understand the risks involved. I get that everybody who plays that game knows exactly what they signed up for. But man, do I feel for that dude. Like, my knee hurts. What happened to his knee would be like me putting one of my shoes on backwards and then walking out the door with one shoe pointing that way and one shoe pointing this way, except it wouldn't hurt, and I could just flip it around. Either way, hate to see it. Hate to see it. And now that I have seen it, I can't unsee it. Now, had I not seen that, I would have said things could not be going any better for the Ravens than they are right now. Things are going almost as well for the Ravens as they're going horribly for the Jags. I'm not sure how things can be going much better for the Ravens or much worse for the Jags. I mean, Duval. That was a brutal night. And that's no one-off either, right? That's not just one bad night. Every team in that league has one bad night. That's not what this is. Like, I can't even imagine the tenderizing that must have gone down after that game. Tenderoni lives were ruined for sure last night. I mean, seriously, what the hell happened to this team? 3 weeks ago, we're talking about how they actually control their own fate. 3 weeks ago, we were talking about how they might be the AFC number 1 seed. Now they're fighting for their lives in the AFC South. Now they're tied with two teams that are playing much better football right now in the Colts and Texans. It's somehow conceivable that the Jags could go from being the team to beat for the number 1 seed to actually missing the playoffs altogether. Especially since Trevor Lawrence came away from that game in the protocol, the concussion protocol. I bet all of the Jags fandom right now feels concussed, especially after the last 3 weeks. Jags fan, he's got whiplash. Jags fan is dizzy. Jags fan is probably feeling all the effects of a major hangover. In fact, you know what they ought to do? They ought to construct the world's biggest blue tent and have every Jags fan walk in, because right about now, I bet they all feel like they're in concussion protocol. Every last one of them. In other words, every Jags fan knows exactly what it feels like to be a ruined and destroyed tenderoni right about now.
Hey, tenderoni, find me. Section 403, row M, seat 20. Bring a Bible and a seatbelt. I'm out.
What up, Queen? Trevor Lawrence was not the only noteworthy QB. Segue. He was not the only noteworthy QB to come away yesterday with a smashed up dome, because the Coug Hunter, Zach Wilson, also walked away from that utter beatdown in Miami with a head injury. I mean, it looked like it. Then again, in typical Jets fashion, who knows, right? In typical Jets fashion, even the concussion has become a controversy. Like everything else the Coug Hunter ever does. I mean, essentially, like everything else the Jets do. Initially, they reported as just dehydration. You can see how they can get those two things confused, right? He's just dehydrated. No, he's concussed. Oh, okay. So at first it's dehydration, then supposedly a head injury, but not a concussion. Then finally the Coug was ruled out with, you guessed it, a concussion. So he was benched again, or concussed, depending on who you ask or who or what you believe, right? Jets fan / conspiracy theorist would tell you that the Coug Hunter faked a concussion. That's a lot, man. Even for Jets fan, to accuse a guy of faking a concussion. How does that work? They walk in the blue tent. Hey, Coug Hunter, look at me. What day is it? Wednesday? What year is it? 1844? Who do you play for? The Dodgers? All right, concussion, he's out. Well, he faked a concussion? I don't know. That they would have you believe that. Jets fan / conspiracy theorists. And why? Because, well, he'd gone on record, allegedly, as saying that he did not want to return to action because he was afraid of getting hurt. Remember that story from the Athletic? Thing is, say what you want about the Coug Hunter, but on that point, he was not wrong. If he had concerns that he might get hurt if he went back out there, he was dead on. He was back out there yesterday, and then he got hurt. Allegedly? I mean, the guy got hurt. He was bad yesterday. He was so bad yesterday and so beat up yesterday that amazing game he had last week almost never happened, right? Remember that whole thing about him flipping his mindset? Remember that thing last week? He flipped his mindset. He went out there thinking and playing like, man, I don't give a damn. I'm just going to let it all hang out. I'm going to let it rip. What's it matter? Then he has the best game of his career, and then everybody's talking about, man, dude just saved his career. He had the best game of his career, and he just saved his career. After yesterday, again, I'm not even sure that happened. Picks or it didn't happen because I've already forgotten. But I'm not fixated on, this is important now, I am not fixated on nor putting all of this on the Kook Hunter. Believe it or not, it's not all his fault. For one, he's not the one who drafted him second overall. He didn't draft himself second overall. Number two, it's not like anybody is doing anything to coach this guy up, or really anything at all to help this guy out, which brings me to the head coach, Bob Saleh, the one with a warehouse of receipts and probably a few hundred more shoe boxes full after yesterday. But that's the thing, right?
Taking receipts.
Yeah, he's got lots of receipts. My man's got millions of receipts, but no answers. I don't know what he's going to do with all of those receipts if he gets his ass fired, but at least he'll have some mementos to remember his 16-32 record with, and all those times everybody else was right about his team. You know, all that gum bumping about receipts. All those receipts, but seemingly no answers because Mike McDaniel made this dude look terrible yesterday. And you don't even have to take it from me. As always, don't take it from me. I always try to find you a better source than me. Jet Player was happy to lay it all out after the game, and not just one. It seems like Jet Player agrees that the coaching is not exactly optimal. It seems like Jet Player would really rather be playing for Mike McD. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.